Greetings, Mr. Wendell here. Do you guys like this? Don't lie to me. Adding platforming elements to your game can help its variety and gameplay. In this video, I will go over how the perspective of my RPG went from this to this. It's nice. Before we go over platforming, we have to first figure out how to activate it in the first place. In the overworld, you can see that the section to the next room is different. This color palette will inform the player that the next room will be in 2D instead of top down. And once we go into the next room, don't worry, if the player entered accidentally or doesn't want to be in the room anymore, they can just exit the way they came, and the perspective will be top down again. Now you could just mess around and play with this like a 5-year-old who eats crayons,
Let me know when you're done playing tourist.
or we could get this Devlog going. Okay, the first thing the player might notice, besides from the art style, is the giant heart in the top right corner of the screen. This art has gone through multiple design phases. At first, I wanted smaller hearts to represent each hit point, but then I realized that could be a little messy on your screen, considering you can increase your HP. Then I tried using the player itself, and what is this, hash brown's operation?
Put those grippers left!
But anyway, this heart will only be used for these 2D sections, and maybe something else. You don't need to know about that. What you do need to know is that this heart represents the amount of health the player has. At first, the heart can only handle 4 attacks, but this value can change by finding heart pieces in the overworld, which will increase your maximum health. The controls in these sections are literally what you think they are. You can walk, jump, do absolutely nothing, crawl like a spider, use ladders, and run like you're in Naruto. Or as I like to call it, Filteroto. Now, with all these options, you may think the levels have to be jam-packed with obstacles to give each ability its spotlight. And maybe you're right, but because you can perform all these things very quickly, it allows yes, you and me, to go through these bite-sized levels the way it was intended. However, because you can easily perform these actions, to balance it out, I have to add some cons. For example, take a look at this jump. It's a good jump, right? Very juicy. Well, while you're running, your speed will be increased, obviously, but at the cost of a heavier jump. Another example is crawling. Crawling allows you to go through tight spaces, but you can probably see the downside already if you have eyesight. It's too slow!
How long is this going to take?
But now that we know how every mechanic works, how would you use them in a level? The start of a level begins on the left side of the screen, and if Mario has taught me anything, mushrooms can mess you up. And that if you start at the left side, you should move to the right. That's a close second. So if we just start moving to the right, we gotta start jumping over holes. A common rookie might have a difficult time, but I assure you this is very simple. See? Man, these are easy peasy lemon squeeze. You didn't see that. Anyway, our next obstacle is these spikes that we can quickly do. Should I have stated that every time you get hit, you get sent back to the start of the level? It's not that important. Now, if we can just actually do it this time, we're done. Yeah, I'm sure some of you guys may have expected a third obstacle to wrap the level up, but not this one. Not this one. Anyway, once we exit out of this level, we are back in a top-down perspective. Well, that's gonna be it for this devlog. I hope you learned something new about my RPG. Stay tuned for next month, where I'll be going over my